What's happening?
Howdy.
All right. I'm gonna unmute for a minute and say hello, everybody. I'll be in and out. Apparently, a hurricaneator's here. So, anyway, I don't want y'all to have to listen to all my popcorn going on. Seems we got some hail and rain mixed in, and it's just a little loud. But anyway.
Give it a few minutes for some folks to get in here, and then we'll get the party started. Let's see what we got in the house. Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that comment, Palmetto. You want me to be nice, then it's kind of like respect. You got to earn it. Just saying. Until that happens, you're just a business transaction that may go bad. All right. Go ahead and share some words of wisdom, Sex Man.
Golly. Well, it's raining.
Yeah, I watched it. See my monitor behind me?
Yeah.
Rain in it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Generally, I like the rain. I don't like it when it rains for 3 months straight.
No, it's beginning to feel like Seattle, honestly. Right. I mean, it's going to rain fine, but, do whatever you're going to do and move on.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I got shit to do. That being said, I'm sure everybody saw our title tonight, Food Tampering, What's Next? We were talking about this earlier. One of the things, everybody remembers back a year or so ago when at all the different processing plants, we started having all these freak issues where this plant caught on fire, that plant, got shut down for this, the baby food issues. I mean, just all kinds of squirrely things for our supply chain all at one time. And it bottlenecked a lot of goods. And we still have goods that are bottlenecked now when you go in the grocery store. I know I was in a Wally World, one of the markets the other day, looking for lunch meat, prepackaged lunch meat like ham or whatever for the granddaughter. And hell, I was in a hunt for it.
Yeah.
It was like, did the aliens come down and like abduct all the pigs or something? What's going on?
Exactly. Yeah, there's something afoot when you can't find ham. I mean,
exactly.
Pigs are everywhere, and chickens. We all know the thing going, with chickens and it's not just chickens. It's
no, and it I'm sorry, but I believe it's a narrative. I believe that the prices are being, what's the word I'm looking for? Manipulated?
Gouged? Yeah. Manipulated? Yeah. I
believe the market's being manipulated. And it's just like, remember it's kind of going off on a tangent from all that, but remember the Department of Agriculture is wanting you to register your garden. What the fuck am I going to register anything with you for?
Yeah, no. And, they've already, the U.S. has already set the precedent. 70 some odd years ago, everybody and even 100 years ago, everybody was encouraged to either have, a garden and or chickens in the backyard or the front yard for that matter. So yeah, no, there's not any registering.
No,
be going on.
I didn't just fall off a turnip truck.
Yeah,
not gonna happen. Um, it's funny today, and I got eggs, thank God, and my chickens are laying for the most part. But I know a lot of people who, my neighbor down the street, the one guy,
Yeah.
he's got one hen that lays an egg occasionally. Now, either they're not getting the right nutrients, or it's a combination of that and sunlight, because he should be getting more than an egg occasionally. He's got 6 or 7 hens. He's got a pen under a tree, and it's chain link, and I guess it's about 15 feet long. It's got a roof on it, and half that roof's got an awning on it. My thinking is that what it is, the damn chickens are, part of it's because they don't get enough sunlight, and that will reduce egg production to some degree, from what I understand. And I'm no chicken guru, but, and the other thing is, I think he's just giving them straight feed from the store, and I think that's a problem too. My wife brought to my attention, an article that she was reading about. A lot of people are talking about all their chickens, their egg production has dropped off.
Yeah, I'd seen a couple of those. In fact, even saw a couple of Instagram reels about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my whole thing is, if you think it's feed, start feeding them tables. I mean, feed them scraps, feed them.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they'll eat anything. I mean, goats.
They're like feathered goats.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to know what to make them sick. But we make a mash. Well, excuse me, I don't make a damn thing, because I just go get eggs. My wife makes a mash for them, and that's what she supplements their feed with. And when we get the feed from, it's made from cracked corn from where her son does his farming. Right. He gets it for us in bulk bags. But we don't have that a lot because he doesn't live around us, But we'll make our own feed a lot of the times to supplement the store-bought stuff. But now I'm hearing the stuff about the store-bought, and it's making me want to completely rethink the feed we're giving our hens and roosters and whatnot, and possibly even start making our own feed, our own, whatever you call it, our own mixture.
Yeah, right.
Go to the feed store, the actual feed store, not like Tractor Supply or anything like that. Not that I'm knocking Tractor Supply, but I mean, it's where a lot of people get the shit from us, where we get ours. But I'm going to start going to an actual feed store a little bit further out, pick up the different kinds of feed in bulk, and mix it myself if necessary, and see if that's not a better option.
Right. But I think that it's a great idea, and also that would be one of those things where, like some of us were talking a little earlier. If you think that companies are doing that, if they're actively suppressing, production, make your own, and then maybe something, will get done about that. They either stop selling it, or they'll change the formula, or nothing will happen because it's just a fluke thing. One of the three.
Well, I know, and I think you remember this. Remember, my chickens stopped laying for a couple weeks there. Just stopped.
Right.
And I think we got an egg here, an egg there, and I got 12 hens. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So, but I think we started giving the mash shortly thereafter, and that kind of changed up. Either we swapped we did something different, and I noticed a change. So, I mean, and consistently now we get at least 6 to 8 eggs a day, and that's with the shitty weather and the lighting and whatnot. But I get more than I can eat, and I give them away. I don't advertise it, but I got people I give them to, ranging from my healthcare physician, my own personal doctor. I'll bring her some, her whole office some. giving to some close friends. I'm giving you some. My tax person, my parents.
Right.
It's just random. Whoever, my next door neighbor. I don't mind sharing them if I don't need them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I always tell the wife, if it ever gets bad, that's lost chicken dinners down there. And she just gives me a look. I said, you get damn hungry enough, you'll eat them. I guarantee you, you'll fry that bitch up in a heartbeat.
Right.
And try to suck the meat off that bone.
Mm-hmm. Tastes better than chew leather.
Absolutely. Beats the hell out of tree bark any day.
Amen.
So, but yeah, I mean, that was the one thing I was really concerned about, because you keep seeing all these things where there's some kind of supply issue, whether it's beef, pork, poultry, milk, eggs, the guatana nut for some kind of flour. Who knows? I'm just making shit up now, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's always something random, and you've seen it more and more and more, and it's like they're trying to put a stranglehold on your traditional things you need to cook or prepare food, or the actual base of the food you're using, because
Right.
usually, if you think about when you're preparing a meal, you've got a meat or fish or whatever, or if you're one of them funny people who lives on the other coast, it might be some plant-based garbage, cutting smiley faces or something. But then you've got, some vegetables go with it. Well, I mean, it's getting to the point now where it's getting harder and harder and harder to achieve that. And it's almost like we're trying to be steered towards,
Well, yeah, exactly. I see your point exactly. You think about it. If over the past almost 30 years, we've not only, heavy industry has gone away for the most part, but here's the thing. You've got the small-time farmer can't hardly make a living, and you've got these huge mega farms out there. Now, what are they making? They're making wheat, they're making soy, stuff like that. But, it kind of runs that whole narrative of, we can control everything that you eat, unless we got back to, basically empowering the small farmer to actually be able to send stuff to the local grocery store. You can't have that now with you've got, hell, I don't know what Canada exports except for Trudeau and fucking maple syrup, but you've got Mexico that exports everything out of the fields anyway, and there's we still make some stuff here, but again, if you were encouraged, just everybody, hey, yeah, you're not going to get food all year round, but make yourself a garden. Relax. Yeah, supplement. Relax the restrictions on having, birds in the backyard. Stuff like that. There's a lot of people that, the HOA or the city simply says, no, you can't do it. And so, yeah, everybody is, you're forced to comply with that. We've got a week's, well, not even a week's, we've got 2 or 3 days worth of food in the grocery store. So, yeah.
Well, think how fast. Let's go off on a tangent about what you said at the grocery store. Think real fast. If you ran out of fuel today, diesel, let's say pipeline, whatever, I don't know, whatever happened, we run bone fucking dry of diesel, critically low. The only thing you guys for emergency personnel or military, law enforcement, whatever, you have none of the pumps. All right, everything runs to a halt. How long do you think it'd be before groceries are fucking gone out of the Haji Mart, much less the grocery store?
A day.
Because everybody will lose their shit.
Yeah, and the first couple of hours they'll pay for it, and then after that they're not going to pay for it. They're just
it'll be. I'm sorry, my debit card's not working. I'm just going to pull my Escalade up in here and load that bitch up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so if you think about it, while modernization and some of these other things on the surface were a great idea, what it's done is it's made our supply chain and our whole thing kind of fragile.
Oh, very.
So if the slightest thing disrupts that, look at the ripple effect and how far reaching and damaging it could be. I mean, I'm going to tell you now, and we've had this discussion before. One of the most dangerous people you will run into is somebody who's hungry or somebody who has a child that's hungry.
Yep.
You think you won't do some shit? Let your child be starving.
Yeah, and yeah,
That moral compass you got, that bitch is gonna be wavering because you're gonna keep seeing that child suffering, and you're gonna say, you know what? Desperate times, desperate measures.
exactly.
Prove me wrong. I'm not inciting violence or anything else. I'm just the human experience. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's a serious thing. I mean, if I think to my kids, grandkids, my parents, whatever, you think I'm gonna do what I gotta damn do?
Oh no. Yep. You're spot on there.
I will. I've tried to prepare myself to be ready in a contingency, but you can never prepare for everything.
Yeah. Then that biggest contingency could be, your next door neighbor. In that case,
Another thing too, I'm sitting there looking at Ozzy talking about the hobby farmers in his area only doing cash. I know when I've been up in Michigan, when I used to vacation there used to be some farmers that were hobby farmers like he's talked about, and you would literally be riding down the road and you see a stand and it was on the honor system. You go in and get what you got and put your money in a little basket and leave. Now you do that shit now and they're able to burn the stand down and steal everything with it and the money.
I was going to say, yeah, depending on where you're at. Yeah.
Well, I mean, where we were at was lower Michigan on a lake, and the closest grocery store was 10 or 15 minutes. You had to drive across farmland to get to.
Right.
I mean, it was literally in the middle of nowhere. Plenty of people lived around there, but it's just you didn't have a bunch of damn knuckle-dragging thugs.
Exactly.
They were farmers or vacationers,
Yeah.
But that being said,
I was going to say.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say is, having a small garden or something, or if you've got a green thumb and got the land and don't have an HOA that's a pain in the ass, I think HOAs are a fucking joke. But I'm looking at starting to grow some medicinal things.
Yeah.
There's some stuff you can grow that's medicinally useful. Anything I can do that's relatively simple to grow and I don't have a lot of issues with. I'm still learning. I get that. But anything I can use where I don't have to spend no money to go buy it and I can make something equivalent that doesn't have all the chemicals and everything else.
Right.
And if I'm able to make some things to supplement food, that's a good thing. I mean, granted, unless you got a fucking acre to plant a lot of shit on, all you're going to do is supplement. You're not going to be able to live off that garden. That's impossible.
Right.
Not unless you're a rabbit. I mean, it's just not going to happen. We're looking at maybe putting some fruit trees in. The problem with fruit trees is you got to get them to pollinate or cross-pollinate, and you got to be able to, get them to bear fruit and keep things out of them, keep the worms out of them, keep the animals out of them. I mean, it's an ongoing battle. But I'm seriously wanting to do some fruit trees too, if I can pull it off. We'll see.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's lots of them that are easy to grow. We had apricot trees growing up. I hate apricots. Can't stand them. One of the nastiest fruits that I
What
can
about
think
figs?
of. Love figs.
My next door neighbor's got a fig tree. My dad used to grow them. I love figs.
So, you know, you can go over there and ask him for a cutting. You grow your own figs.
Yeah, and I'll probably do that. I've got muscadines growing down the fence too.
I like those.
My granddaughter, I went and got some, was eating them, and she didn't believe me they were fruit. She wouldn't eat one. She said, "I think you're lying to me, Papa." I said, "Baby, it's." I was eating one, and she still wouldn't touch it. So I'm not doing it. Looks like snot. So, but yeah, I mean, anything you can do. I mean, and there's a lot of ways out there if you don't have a lot of property or you don't have a yard, you can do that in for whatever reason, whether you got an HOA, aggravating neighbors, you want to, like egg their houses, shit like that.
Right.
There's a lot of ways to do different things. You can grow things in buckets. I believe you sent me something about growing tomatoes in laundry baskets.
Yeah. In fact, we had done that. We did that this past year out in the front.
Okay.
Yeah. Out in the big blue tub.
Yeah, there's a lot of things out there. My next big project, though, and I know I've talked to you about this too, is I want to make a cellar.
Oh, yeah.
And start storing stuff in that cellar. It'll have some dual purposes, but we'll see if that ever comes to be. Now, I know we've gone way down a rabbit hole here, folks, but it all kind of leads into the same thing about being self-sufficient. If you can grow stuff, do it. Even for the simplest things. I mean, last year I think I grew okra, corn, beans. All those did pretty well. The army worms got my damn corn though.
You had a really good garden going there. It was pretty nice.
Thank you. It's a work in progress. We'll see how it does this year. The potatoes were pretty. The sweet potatoes did well. Okra did really well. I had a lot of cherry tomatoes. They did well. I can't grow regular tomatoes to save my life. They just don't do well. Cherry tomatoes and the little. There's another kind of little tomato. Those I can grow the shit out of.
All right.
Just do not have any luck. But, like I said, we're going to look at some different things this year. I think we're going to do a lot of potatoes too, regular potatoes. My wife's looking at us growing a lot of them.
Heck yeah.
Because you can use potatoes. I mean, it's a staple. And beans are really easy to grow. We're going to probably do more beans. I know I'm going to do okra because I love okra. I can't grow watermelon for shit. Can't grow cantaloupe for shit. So those are probably out. I will do some more pumpkins.
There you go.
I love my pumpkins. So, with that being said, the whole thing about all these things we're seeing in the grocery store, the foods, the different things. I mean, everything's getting a lot more expensive. I'm sure all of you have been in. Anybody who's ever been in a damn grocery store in the past 6 months, you've seen the enormous difference in price and things.
Oh, yeah.
Night, Mama D. I normally don't even go to the big grocery stores anymore if I can help it. I'll go to not the Aldi, but the
Lidl.
Lidl.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to Lidl. And they're pretty good. The problem is that they don't always have the variety of what you're looking for. If they got stuff you can make work, great. You just got to check the prices. But I can go there and get a loaf of damn bread for 50 cents.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing I like about them, at least one here, it shows you where the meat's from. So if it's American, it's going to have the American little label thing on it.
Right.
And a lot of your grocery stores, where the fuck it's from.
This is true.
So something to kind of watch, because I don't trust our own federal government as it is with the FDA, the Department of Agriculture, any of them. I just don't trust any of them. And we all feel the same way. anything that allows me more control, more oversight of what I'm buying and what I'm putting in my body and my kids and grandkids' bodies, I'm down with that. At least if you're growing something or you're raising something, you know what it is. You know what you got. When you go in a store and you're buying shit out of a damn meat counter or whatever, and it's already prepackaged, or it's in a tube of damn hamburger meat, unless it's marked on there where it's from, you don't know what the hell that is. You don't even know if it's real meat.
Right. His nasty fingers have been in it.
I mean, there might be a toenail, might be, you just don't know what's going to be in it.
Right.
Just saying. You don't know what oversight was used wherever that shit was processed. Just, add my 2 cents there.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, too, you were just talking about earlier about local, sourcing locally. I know years ago, I don't know if they still do it, but the Ingalls, they will get stuff from local sourced farmers.
Yeah, and that's cool. I have seen going to Wally World, it'll say like local, organic, and my thought is local is a objective term.
It is.
I've never seen one of our neighbors out here. And what I'm talking about. Yeah. Loading up a truck of produce to send to Wally World.
No.
Now, it may be something grown hydroponically inside under, special lighting conditions that might not be totally legal. That they might be sending to Wally World, but not, cantaloupes and zucchini.
Right. And, if you ever do a dig or a dive on organic food, you'd be surprised. It may say organic, but sometimes it's no better than the other shit, or it's worse, because organic is just a term, and the way to qualify for it would kind of surprise you. It's not as wholesome and good for you as you think it is.
All right.
It's basically marketing. Because a pig didn't shit within 20 feet of this, you can call it organic.
Yeah.
Just use it as a term. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but
right.
That's all what I'm saying. It's vastly different than, say, comparing free range to, the mass-produced white eggs you get in the grocery store.
Right.
Which is clearly 2 different beasts.
Oh yeah, you can. There's no comparison between the mass-produced clone white eggs and a fresh egg out of the backyard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just something to think about. I know when you get away from our area and get out in the country a bit. I know my son used to live north of us, and the Ingalls there got a lot of their produce, or I don't know if they got their meat, but I know they got a lot of their produce and stuff from farmers in that area.
Right. From
what I understood. Now, how true that is, I don't know. And that's been some years back. But if you're fortunate enough to be able to do that, that's great. I mean, it's even better if you're able to get it directly from a source. Like you got a farmer selling stuff right there. Every now and then you run up on a stand somewhere. But if you're able to buy it directly, I mean, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's I think part of that too. You've seen kind of a, no, I wouldn't say an explosion. You've seen a proliferation of the farmers markets coming back again. Yeah. Because again, like you're saying, I have no idea if your stuff is, like you're saying, organic, and I hate that word because it doesn't mean, it means something that words mean things, and cage free and all this sort of stuff, whatever. If that makes you feel better about your bird, and that's great, that's super. It's protein to me, unless I'm going out and actually killing this thing, and that's fine too. But if it's as far as mass-produced chicken and turkey and cow, is protein.
Yep.
Now, yeah, I do care what goes into it, and so that's why it's great to have the the farmers markets coming back in some places.
Yeah, absolutely. But on that same note, think about this. You're seeing the farmers markets basically proliferate much more than they used to. I mean, you've got like the little municipalities will have on the weekends, different things like that. But something else I think you're going to start seeing too, if this economy keeps taking a shit like it is, you know what else you're going to start seeing coming back?
Bartering?
Well, in a way, you're going to start seeing flea markets.
Oh yeah, I miss flea markets. Real flea markets.
Yeah, like remember, down here we had drive-ins.
Yeah.
And you're going to start seeing that. You're going to start seeing the flea markets and the drive-ins. I mean, kind of like what me and you saw that one day when we were down in Atlanta. Remember that was a drive-in.
Yeah.
Used to, you had those all over. Of course, there's no damn drive-ins anymore. But I think what you're going to do is you're going to start seeing a proliferation of flea markets because people are going to be trying to get shit secondhand and everything else. Because going to the damn store and spending money, it's insane. Plus, you can do cash and barter. You can trade. Can't do that in the damn Wally World.
Oh yeah, no, I missed the real flea market, not the ones where you just rows and rows of Chinesium and.
No, I'm not talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm like you go there. Hey, I want to swap this for that, and hey, let me get a vacuum cleaner that actually works for $10 or $5. Yeah, love those sort of
lawnmower, shit like that. See, we've become a disposable society. We're consumer based, consumer driven, but because of marketing, we don't keep shit. If we have a car and it gets old, I'm gonna go buy me another car. There's nothing wrong when you're driving. You just want something shiny,
right?
That doesn't smell like ass. Well, you can take care of a vehicle and it won't smell like ass and still be relatively shiny.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been taught or led down a path where just run the shit out of something until it tears up and buy another.
Yeah.
We do it with electronics. We do it with vehicles. We do it with clothes. I mean, everything we got. That's how we're marketed. That's how we've been driven as a people in a society and a market for so long. So people repairing shit and repurposing it and stuff like that, that's almost a lost art now.
Oh yeah. Now, okay. This is an age check here. Now, my dad, this is back in the mid 80s, okay? Like
Right.
We're talking 84, 86, 85, 86. They're in Wichita Falls, Texas. We would go to a large flea market, right? At that large flea market, and there was, cops, walking up and down. But you could actually go buy reloads, big bag of bullets.
Yep.
At the flea market.
Yep.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if you can do that now.
I don't think so.
I know one time, it's been years ago, I was back when I was working where I used to work. And we pulled off, what's this, a damn Hardee's or a closed Hardee's? I don't remember why we were there, but there was a guy in the damn park lot. It was like a little not flea market, but like he had a bunch of shit he was trying to sell. Now, I'll never forget, he had like a couple of antiques and he had an old revolver. He was trying to sell a gun. And I'm sitting there looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, I know damn good and well this isn't legal.
Right.
This just seems shady. Now, granted, it wasn't a 1911 Commander or no shit like that. It was an old pistol, some kind of revolver, I think.
Right.
But A, the area of town we were in, B, the individual selling it, and C, what he was selling.
Yeah. Did you ask him if he was a cop?
No. Like I said, I had my ID on, and it was blatantly apparent what municipality I was working for.
Right.
So, I figured, you know what, we're going to leave this guy alone and just get in our vehicle and go on to our next stop and get some food. I'm not even going to entertain this shit. So, but yeah, I think back to that, and I mean, I miss the old flea markets. I remember going to them as a kid, and you can find anything. I mean, there's still some if you go up in the mountains and places. You can go to some of these ones out in the country or up in the boondocks. You used to be able to find all kinds of damn tools and, like I said, small engines. Like you can find mini bikes, lawnmowers, chainsaws, weed eaters. Uh, you can find small appliances, blenders, irons. I mean, just think toys out the ass.
Right.
Just all kinds of stuff. Knives, all the damn kitchen utensils, knives, forks, spoons, all that. You can find that shit all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Just a lot of neat stuff. And if you were able to bring that back, I mean, it might not be a bad thing.
No, it's every little bit of, self-sufficiency, community sufficiency helps,
Sure. I mean, because if you think about it, if things were to go sideways, let's say the grid goes down, the economy takes a shit, Biden sells the entire country to China, I don't know, whatever the hell happens, Canada invades and we surrender, I got nothing. What would happen is you wouldn't go to, shopping mall or convenience store or whatever. Your go-to would be the trading post, marketplace, flea market, whatever the hell it's called, wherever that is. That's where you're going. That's where all commerce will converge in your area.
Right.
That and the FEMA tents.
Exactly.
That's it. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to be much better going to the bartering post, trading post, wherever the hell it's called, as opposed to going to anything with FEMA on.
Oh, yeah. No.
It's just, it's kind of one of those things, a lot of people, because of, when we grew up, it's not alien to us. I remember I'm used to haggling, going in there and haggling. But to a lot of people, they've never experienced that. I mean, imagine if when you went in to buy your groceries or to buy a watermelon or tools, whatever, it was like buying a damn car.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you that don't just roll in, take it in the ass when you see a car you want, one's actually negotiate a price. What if you did that with everything? That's how it used to be back in the day. And you didn't necessarily use money. You might trade goods or services. That's fact.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
I'll never forget my dad, years ago, he went and bought him a Jeep Wrangler, and the dealer he got it from, and I shit you not, they would take livestock, appliances, lawn equipment, anything you had as a down payment.
nice.
And that dealership is still in existence today.
Well, I need a Wrangler, and I could probably find a cow somewhere around here.
I'm just saying, I mean, like I said, that's not something you hear of anymore.
No.
It's a lost art that, people really ought to think about it, because there's going to come a point in time, I'm beginning to think, Jack Richland over on Black Scouts, right. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's a matter of when.
Oh, yeah.
And I truly believe that, all of us need to get our shit together. The only thing I hate is that we're not all closer together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If we were all closer together, we'd be hell on wheels.
I think the ones that have their eyes open have seen, the progression of this And it hasn't been just a year or two. This has been an ongoing.
Yeah.
It's been an ongoing thing for quite a while now.
Oh yeah, you're talking about this. This groundwork's been getting laid for multiple terms. As far as this isn't something that just started with Obama or Clinton or whoever. The groundwork for this shit has been getting put in place for 50 years,
Yeah.
if longer. And if you go back and look, let's just go back to during Vietnam, when who was it, Johnson, that pretty much undermined the entire I'm gonna say the black nuclear family.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
term. The whole design was to make the black family dependent on the government. Take the man
cradle to grave
and make it a broken home, to make them more dysfunctional so that they could be easily led or manipulated. That's what they wanted.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah,
And
you're right.
That's where they started pouring the foundation right there. Because that allowed them to lay the blocks for this racial equality bullshit. Because had they not done that, and it's like the whole thing about I'll never forget Morgan Freeman. Props to the man. He's always said, you want racism to go away, stop fucking talking about it.
Oh, definitely. But okay. Hey, you bring that up. Now, growing up where I did, it was, you had a large, mostly white, but a lot of Hispanic population.
Yeah.
And we didn't care.
No.
Now, then you had, some, you had blacks there as well, and we didn't care. We were all friends.
Right.
But and it's now this one, I guarantee you, started what, about, oh gosh, I don't want to get flagged, but yeah, within the last 12 years, you've seen that polarization between.
Yeah, this was by design. You saw the polarization. I think you really saw polarization start during the Obama administration.
Yeah.
Because that's when you had was it Michael Brown or no? Michael Brown was in Florida, right? Or am I thinking of the guy that was in St. Louis? Who I'm getting my people confused. That's when BLM and everything started taking off.
Okay.
You had the Ferguson issue in St. Louis, which was a fucking dumpster fire. And you had that whole situation with the guy that got shot in Florida where the security guard saw a guy running through a neighborhood or something. And
yeah.
You remember what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
And, that's when you start seeing the polarization right there. That's when they really started. Jay, you're absolutely right. That's when you really started seeing a rise in all this nonsense.
Right.
Now, the reason I'm bringing all this up is everything here kind of feeds into the same narrative. You laid that groundwork to create racial division, and you keep piling on to it. This basically is helping proliferate a greater divide in this country. And it ultimately is going to be what causes part of our downfall, because of the fact that they've got us thinking that because somebody looks different, that there's an issue.
Yeah.
It's not even that necessarily. It could be culturally. It's whatever stigma they've tried to put in our minds about this, that, or the other.
Right.
And people are just eating that shit up instead of being free thinkers. And that's why we're at now. And all this goes hand in hand with the food shortages and the different things, I mean, look at the clusterfuck a year ago or 2 years ago when all the shit was on ships off the West Coast.
Right.
All the Chinesium. Okay. That should have been a wake up call to stop importing all this fucking shit and start making it locally or at least on the same fucking continent.
Right.
Okay. Do you think anybody did?
No.
No, because there's no incentive to.
Yeah. Well, they
would rather jack the prices up and force people to buy whatever they got, where cheap shit they got. I mean, I remember going in damn Wally World, and I hate Wally World. It's like going. It's like going for a root canal every time you walk in ours.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing like going in somewhere to do your shopping and feeling like you don't have enough body armor or sidearms or ammunition.
Right.
And it's always that fucking way. And they never have everything you need. Now, granted, the demographics where I am may leave something to be desired. But the point I'm making, it's always a shitty experience, and they never have anything. It's like they half-ass stock the shelves, and they're more concerned with pulling in fucking grocery orders and little people with the carts and getting your way and trying to run you over.
Right.
They're more concerned about that than waiting on anybody or helping anybody. That's why you got all this damn self-checkout bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
It drives me batshit crazy.
Right.
The last time I was in one by myself and I was getting something, I forget what it was, had to wait on myself because they had one register open for 535 people in line. So I got my shit. I want to say I had in the cart. And this guy's on his phone talking or doing some shit. He was that way when I came in. Well, when I come back to leave, all of a sudden he's going to jump off the phone and stop me. I held up my receipt like this and walked right by him. So there's my receipt. See ya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should have been over there checking me.
You're more busy talking to Wanisha or whoever the hell it is, or Fred about y'all getting together and going to get some wings after work. I don't know what the fuck you were doing, but all of a sudden, because I made a purchase, you saw my ass come in empty-handed, and you saw me over there bringing my shit out. It's not, because they got the little wardens they got in places at the end of all the aisles. So it's not like you can steal the shit, not unless you're just blatant. And so I got the receipt in my hand. It's not like I'm trying to front him. Right?
Yeah.
So I give zero fucks for this stuff. If you want to make it self-checkout, then don't sit there and harass me about checking my receipt when I go the fuck out your building. I'm offering to show it to you as I walk by you, but I ain't fucking stopping.
Yeah.
You're not slowing me down because you're trying to justify raising your fucking prices, cutting jobs, and making me do your job for you. No, fuck you.
No, that's the thing about Wally World is, we were used to it for forever in Sam's because that's how Sam's works. Okay?
Right.
Walmart though. Okay. Hey, I hate Walmart. I just what it's become. But if I have to go in there and I have, I get my own stuff, the grocery store department, whatever, so I'm getting all my stuff. If I have to go and do self-checkout because you won't hire people, then I should get a discount.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Dude, singing the choir. I've got a good friend of mine who retired from Walmart, and that was his bitch. He wouldn't go through self-checkout for that very reason. He said, you know what? I'm not going to wait on myself. If you're not going to give me a discount on my groceries, I don't care if it's 1 fucking % for doing your job, I'm not doing it. Yeah. You're going to wait on me. And see, this kind of all goes back to the discussion we had earlier about, people just kind of sitting back, wanting shit to change, but they don't want to be the ones making change. You know what I'm saying? They want to bitch about it, but they don't want to, they want armchair quarterback everything.
Yeah, no action.
Well, do you think all these fucking businesses would be going to self-checkout if people stop fucking using them?
Absolutely not.
All you got to do is go in a damn Kroger or Walmart or wherever the fuck it is you shop. Don't go to the self-checkout line. Back that motherfucker from the damn front all the way back to the damn freezer aisle.
Right.
And then if you want to be a real asshole, and I'm down with this because it's not beyond me, I'll start live streaming the fucking video and send it to news companies. I'm that much of an asshole.
Right.
What you got to lose?
Oh.
I guarantee you a business model would change and people would grow some nuts.
Oh, yeah.
But see, nobody wants to do it because it's inconvenient. As
Yeah.
long as they can get home and watch Survivor and get their fucking chai latte at the fucking Starbucks as they walk in the door, they don't give a fuck.
True.
That's the problem.
And what kills me about this whole thing, though, this whole conversation, is, and especially, you're talking about, stuff being out in ships and supply chain and prices right now, is that Americans especially, they have a really short memory. We've been conditioned to be uncomfortable piece by piece, but not enough to really do anything about it, because here in a week or so, something else is going to be happening, and it's going to draw your attention away from, he's going to draw your attention away from, this Bidenflation thing, and just pick a topic.
Yeah. It's the way we become so damn complacent and just.
I know. After a while, you're just
it's almost like we deserve what we're getting. Okay? I don't mean to sound like a defeatist here, but you want to bitch about morbid obesity, get the fuck up off the couch and go do something.
Right.
Stop eating fucking moon pies and RC colas and watching fucking reruns of SpongeBob. I don't know what to tell you. Do something other than sit in front of a damn idiot box. Go outside and get some sunshine. Get some fucking vitamin D and walk around the block. You ain't got to be a damn bodybuilder or anything else. Just go outside. Dig a fucking hole. Plant something. Do something. I'm just saying.
Oh, no.
And this all goes to the whole complacency thing. They want us to be just a bunch of semi-functional idiots that they just lead around.
And they're doing a damn good job of it.
Well, yeah, and that's the scary thing, because what happens is, as generations evolve, what's going to happen, I mean, we all got to make that journey at some point, okay? And when there's none of us left, who do you think is going to be left to make decisions? Or bitch? There's not going to be anybody to bitch, because they're going to be a minority.
Oh, yeah.
If we don't turn, if something doesn't happen to change these people's view and worldview, we're fucked hard.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they've infiltrated the schools. They've infiltrated the church. They've infiltrated industry. They've infiltrated. I mean, pick something.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's nothing that's been untouched. And it's only getting worse.
Right. And what kills me about it is they're so upfront about it.
They don't care.
Yeah, it's like, because there's no pushback.
No, they don't care.
Now, okay, a little bit of good news. All right, I was the boy and I were listening to Matt Walsh today, right? Talking about the whole trans thing and teachers. And how there is because there actually has been, at least on the East Coast over here, a bit of a pushback as to, especially in like Florida, Tennessee, that there are teachers that are saying, you know what, it's not worth it to us, because we can't spread, we can't spread the whole trans thing is normal, that we're just going to go ahead and quit being teachers. It's like, okay, see ya.
Works for me.
Miss you never.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than, I mean, it's small steps like that, but yeah, it better be quick though.
Well, here's the thing I'm going to say to everybody. you know, number one, pray about the stuff. Ask
Yep.
for guidance. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm not the most religious man, but I do believe in prayer to some degree. It does work. Um, pray for guidance. And, you know, a lot of times you get that epiphany and you see a way out of it. And I pray for this country. I pray for all of us. You know, I don't want to leave this a worse place than what it was when I was growing up for my kids and grandkids. Because I know that unless there's a massive cultural change and they don't wake up and smell the Sanka, that they're not going to be thinking about any of this shit. They're just going to be existing.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want. So, well, I think we managed to stay on topic. We deviated a little bit, but it all kind of ties in together.
Yes. I think it does.
We didn't go off on too many tangents. So I think we did good tonight.
What say you, Vanguard? He probably can't hear with all the rain.
He might not. It's like they're throwing bricks and baseballs where he's at.
Right.
He's getting some bad weather. Well, you got any parting words, brother?
Oh man. Jeez. You know, listening to the news this week has just been a friggin' clown show. I'll tie off of what you said, because I don't think we've said it quite enough, is, you know, pray about this stuff. Pray about this stuff, but, you know, we gotta, as a group, we need to come together and figure out how we can take action instead of just sitting around talking. Now, that doesn't mean anything, you know, it can mean whatever you want it to, but, you know, within reason.
I agree. Well, folks, like I always say, pay attention to what's going on internationally, nationally, locally, in your own backyard. Dangerous times. You need to pay attention to what's going on. Keep the ones you love close. Try to stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. And most of all, thank you each and every one of you for being here tonight. And we hope to see you on the flip side. Have a good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night, everybody.